I cannot begin to tell you what an honor it is to stand here representing the 660,000 active Guard, Reserve, and civilian airmen, to welcome your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, into the long blue line. Just 7.5 weeks ago, you sent them to us, and they arrived wide-eyed. Individuals, great citizens, perhaps a little unsure of what they'd signed up for. And then through 7.5 weeks, these military training instructors formed them, molded them, and through patience and perseverance and professionalism, they turned them into the formation that you see standing here today, the greatest treasure in our nation's arsenal. For our newest airmen, you joined a service that's been in constant conflict for 26 years. Air and space power, owning the high ground, is in greater and greater demand. We went to war in Desert Storm, and we haven't come home. And to understand the force that you will join, let me just walk you through the missions that we perform today for our nation and for our allies. Some of you will join the nuclear enterprise, and to ensure that on our worst day as a nation, our Commander-in-Chief is where he needs to be, when he needs to be there, and he remains connected to our two legs, the nuclear triad. Some of you will join our space enterprise and fly the full Compilation so we can keep going 24/7, 365. And for everyone who has a cell phone today, who gets a GPS signal, it's actually not magic. It comes to you from United States Air Force and these airmen. Some of you will join the more than 35,000 airmen doing intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance to ensure our Commander-in-Chief has a common operational picture and can make a decision that outpaces our adversaries. Some of you will join the cyber workforce and ensure that we are not only defended, but that we also continue to have capabilities to use against our adversaries when needed. And some of you will join our Air National Guard and our Air Force Reserve, and you will sit alert, guarding the homeland, just as our militia, our Air National Guard, can do across the nation. Those missions are just what we do here in the homeland, to defend the homeland. But now let's talk for a minute about what we do deployed and based forward. And it starts with air superiority. And since 1953, no soldier, sailor, airman, or marine on the ground has been attacked by enemy air. We want to ensure that when anybody on the ground in enemy territory hears jet noise, they never look up, because they know it's us. And to gain and maintain air superiority, many of you will become special forces. And you will secure airfields around the world in undergoverned places to ensure that we can move mobility aircraft every 2.5 minutes. Something is taking off or landing somewhere on the globe, delivering critical supplies to personnel. And I can't give you a better example for those of you who will join the Global Power Mission. 2B2, launched from Whiteman Air Force Base, 32 hours round trip, 16 air refuelings to hit their targets within 10 seconds of their planned time over target. And some of you will go forward and take the fight against violent extremism, from which we, the United States Air Force, have over 70% of the strikes, 100% of the tankers, 90% of the ISR in the fight against violent extremism. You join a force today that enjoys the trust and confidence of a grateful nation. But I submit to you that that trust and confidence is not so much for what we do today, but it's for the shoulders we stand on of those who pass this Air Force to us. Our challenges are big, but they are not the largest challenges we face. And as you cross that long blue line, you join the ranks of those who've gone before us. And so I have one question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the greatest Air Force and the greatest airmen the world has ever known?
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
All I can say is, wow. What do you think about these amazing airmen? Let me keep the applause going here for a second. Can I ask for all of our veterans to please stand or raise your hand, please? We stand on the shoulders of some amazing giants. And I can't thank you enough for your service to our great nation and all that you've done to make us who we are today. Thank you very much. Let me turn my attention briefly to our training group here. You've seen them, our military training instructors here. They are absolutely incredible. Every week they do just what you see here today. They take ordinary citizens and make them into extraordinary airmen. Our MTIs are the world's best. And I can't tell you how extraordinary they are. They represent our Air Force so well. And let's give a big hand to all of our military training instructors. One other really important group we have to thank today, this is for all of our airmen, as we look to these families. All of our mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters and families here today, thank you. Because what we have here today, these amazing airmen of selfless service and character, and they learn that around your dining room tables. So thank you for molding and growing these truly extraordinary men and women of character and letting them see the possibility and encourage them to serve in our Air Force. So to all the families out there, thank you. Now we turn my attention to my new teammates, our airmen joining our Air Force. So as we enter our Air Force service together, what we said is that you are part of a family with shared experiences. And I'd say this last 8 weeks, that's what we're going to call is a shared experience, right? You came here, we kept your hair, we issued you some new uniforms, we gave you some shots. You got in shape, you learned about our Air Force and our core values, you shot some weapons. Now you're entering the long blue line of all those who've gone before you. It is about family. And you're now part of this great Air Force family. And ask you to lean on each other. Because it's together what we told you is you weren't special. But now you know something different. That every one of you is unbelievable. Right? You've got an amazing ability individually, and you've seen that. This is what this last 8 weeks has done. It's molded you and shown you the mettle, that you have the mettle to do this. And that individually, you're awesome. But together, as a team of airmen, you are absolutely unstoppable. There's no one better than this Air Force and this group of airmen. And now it's time you join this legacy in the long gray blue line. And this blue line that served in places like right after at the start of World War II, April of 1942, when Jimmy Doolittle and his Raiders did something that the nation thought was unbelievable, and yet they accomplished it. Airmen. an airman named Buzz Aldrin, the first airman on the moon in 1969. And today, airmen in the Middle East, whether they be in Afghanistan or Iraq, are defending our nation. And they were here, many of them, 1 year ago today, right where you're standing. And now they're going to extend that long blue line all the way back to you. So I'm going to tell you to do what I know you're capable of doing. Upholding our core values of service, excellence, and commitment. Joining the world's greatest air force. There's no doubt you're prepared. And I'm extraordinarily proud to have you join in our service and to serve with you. I just have one question for you. Are you ready to join the world's greatest Air Force? I believe they're ready.
Will now come forward and our direct or graduating airmen.
Every year at this time, San Antonio celebrates Fiesta. And every year about this time, it's about 100 degrees in those stands. So this year we've been praying that it would be a little more comfortable. I think we overdid it. But those of you in the stands who are responsible for raising these great American patriots that are strong of mind, soul, and body, please raise your hand to be recognized. And for those of you that are veterans, that have fought and sacrificed to give us the opportunity to fight for our future, please raise your hand and be recognized. There are two things that a great nation does to perpetuate its values and its greatness. The first is that it raises a generation that will always be willing to fight and defend its freedoms and its rights to its values. The second thing that a great nation does is it celebrates its heritage, its history, its cultures. Today we have the marriage of those two great behaviors of a great nation in Fiesta and graduation. Let's give them a round of applause. Make no mistake, America is great because we do these two things. But every generation is tested. And all you have to do is read the newspaper to see that there is chaos happening overseas and domestically in America. And it is time for America to reach down deep and reconnect with its values of respect for every other human being and for the embodiment of that respect in the fact that every one of you has the power to say who has authority over you. And this is what
this generation will do. They will protect those values, and they will have to fight, and they will have to sacrifice, and they will have to serve in ways that are not easy. So as I turn to you, the men and women of this great nation who are standing before us, we are making a deep vow, a covenant between the witnesses here and you, to see if you are worthy of wearing this uniform. Because it is not a right. It is a deep privilege. And you are going into a future that will test your mettle. It will test your discipline, your mental self-control, your courage, your nobility, your humility, to understand and change and grow and be better every day. Because you have a sacred obligation to uphold the sacrifices that those veterans have given to give you the opportunity to serve. And you have a sacred honor to protect the security so all Americans can celebrate the beauty you see before you today, not just in the color of the clothes, but in the love in their hearts, to enjoy life, liberty, beauty, art, and the friendship of family and friends. The joy of life, the pursuit of happiness, is the unique blessing of our Constitution that must be perpetually defended against evil in this world that will steal away anything good if you are not standing guard. So as we take the oath of office, for all of you in the stands, I want you to pay attention to these words very carefully, because they were crafted by our founding fathers, and every word has deep meaning, and it's one reason they have never changed. So for those of you on the grass, I only have one question for you. Are you ready and worthy to join the greatest Air Force in the history of mankind?
Cool.
And for those of you in the stands, there is a tradition here, and the tradition is when I say viva, you say fiesta, and I want you to show your gratitude for the city of San Antonio that celebrates better than any city in the world. Viva!
Fiesta!
One more time. Viva!
Fiesta!
Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Clark will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I take your name.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
and the orders of the officers appointed over me
and the orders of the officers appointed over me
in accordance with regulation and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
in accordance with regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? I think you can. I'm happy to welcome you all here to this great day for our airmen and for the families and communities that they came from. I do want to start off by adding my thanks to the family members that are here. You raised these airmen. You brought them up to be the people that are here in front of us today. I want to say thanks to you for all the love and time and effort that you poured into them and for making the trip to be down here with us today. Thank you. So our airmen come from families. Our airmen also come from communities around the country and around the world in some cases. And representing today those communities, here with me today are our Air Combat Command community leaders, our civic leaders. They represent the communities that Air Combat Command bases are located in and where our airmen live, but they're also communities that produce young people that come join us and end up on places like this and be a part of the Air Force. So one more hand for our community leaders, please. I'm very proud to have here with me today some of the senior leaders from around Air Combat Command, from our numbered air forces. Particularly, I want to recognize Chief Frank Batten, the Command Chief of Air Combat Command. Chief and I this week are celebrating an anniversary, and it's the anniversary of when we started our journey in the Air Force. So as of this week, Chief Batten has been at it for 30 years in service to his country, and I've been at it for 37 years. Both of us started those careers right here at Lackland Air Force Base. Chief trained here and marched across this parade ground to receive take his oath and become an airman. I was over across the way at Medina Annex at OTS, which is now moved to Alabama. But this is a ceremony that's dear to both of us, and we're happy to be here with you and be a part of it. So our airmen start out in families and they start out in communities, and they're not leaving those families. They're not going to stop being a part of those communities, but today they take a step toward joining a new community. And airmen, this is not the end of anything. So we'll finish basic training today. You got your airman coins yesterday. We welcome you as airmen into our Air Force, but today you begin a journey to become part of this community that instead of being born into a family or into a community around America, you have chosen to be a part of. You have chosen to be a part of a community that's based on shared commitment to something bigger than you, something bigger than us, to the Constitution of our United States and the defense of the people in your families and those communities. And it's based on shared service that we will do together. We value the diversity that you bring to us. We're proud that you come from communities from all over America, that you represent all the ethnic groups and races that make up the American population, that you're male and female, that you represent all that makes America great. We value that. But now, what we care about is not who your mom and dad were, or where you came from, or what you did before you joined the Air Force. What we care about is how you work together to embrace the core values that you've learned this week. So starting with Airman's Week next week, we'll ask you to start making the transition from being here in a community that your introduction was led by the training instructors and the staff here at Lackland. And they pretty much told you what to do and when to do it, where to do it, and how to do it, and why to do it for the time that you've been here. And you'll begin to transition now with their help and with your military training instructors and tech school instructors to take on the responsibility to lead yourself, to provide your own discipline, to take those core values out into the Air Force into tough situations that will test what you've learned and will test who you are. But I'm perfectly confident that you'll stand up to that test like everyone who's marched across this parade ground has, and like all the airmen that have taken their place in the Air Force. So one final round of thanks to those military training instructors and the staff here that have made this week possible. Then one last question. Airmen, are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Holmes will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Now please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
All of you. Parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters and spouses and children who have joined us here, I wanted to personally thank you for raising these these young men and women of character, we have chosen to become airmen. Not that we did it alone. We cajole them, and help them, and hassle them, and encourage them along the way. And I hope that you have also seen over the last 2 months have started to develop into better versions of themselves. And airmen willing to serve the nation that we all love. So thank you. To our newest airmen, every one of you comes here with a story. Bring with you your history and your family's history to our nation's defense. In the summer of 1948, my father stood where you stand today. And 30 years later, in 1978, I followed him into the United States Air Force. When my dad was here, he didn't much like a lot of the rigmarole, but once he got into technical training, he found his niche. He was a crew chief, and he loved his guests. One of the other things he loved about being here in Blackland, I read in his letters home to my mother, his high school sweetheart. He was a boy who had come of age as a teenager during the Second World War. And one of the things he was amazed at when he got to Blackland was he could have all the milk he could drink. Think about that for a second. You're a hungry teenage boy. And because this nation was committed to liberty, we rationed food for America. Each of you come here with your story. And you are now part of our story as airmen in the greatest Air Force in the world. I want to let you know what I expect of you. I expect you to live and serve in accordance with our values. Integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. So now, are you prepared to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force?
Secretary Wilson will now administer the oath of enlistment. Chief Wright will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
All right, what a great day to be an airman. Well, first let me say congratulations. I'm proud of each and every one of you. I'm proud to serve as your chief. I'm even more proud to serve as your teammate. The advent of air, space, and cyber, I will say, has never been more important in our Air Force today, and all of you get to be a part of that. I'm assuming this has been a defining moment in all of your lives. I'm assuming that you're excited about getting out into our Air Force. I want to give you just a few tips on how to maintain all the things that you learned during your time here at BMT. If you can go out into our United States Air Force and continue to be men and women of character, to maintain a positive attitude, to remember all of the discipline that you learned here, to practice our core value of excellence, and most importantly, to remember to be a part of a team. Practice teamwork. I think you can be successful in whatever it is you decide that you want to do in our United States Air Force. All you have to do is decide what you want to be, who you want to be. The universe, our Air Force, your families, your teammates, they will help you. The last thing that I will tell you, as you enter in our Air Force and you decide what it is that you want to be, dream big. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't stand here and be the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, that you can't sit there and be the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, or anything that you want to be. Dream big. Never forget this day. Someday you will stand here, or you'll sit in one of the leadership positions. Never forget the day that you came down this bum run. Never forget the day that you were an airman. I'm extremely proud of each one of you. Thank you so much for becoming a part of our Air Force. Thank you so much for becoming one of my brothers or sisters in arms. I appreciate you. Thank you, and enjoy your Air Force career.
Thank you, Chief Grant. General Goldfein will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Well, you made it. I'm speaking, of course, to your families. So 8.5 weeks ago, you sent us your sons or daughters. And we turned them into airmen. And my commitment to you as Chief of Staff of the Air Force, standing next to my wingman, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, is that we will assure that your son or your daughter is properly organized, trained, equipped, and led before we ever send them into harm's way, and that we will take care of their families while they're gone. That is nothing short of a moral obligation. To our newest airmen, last week was an incredible week for our Air Force. As we witnessed our Commander-in-Chief present the Medal of Honor to the family of Master Sergeant John Chapman. There will be stories told about John Chapman for years to come, but let me just tell you what. On the mission before his Medal of Honor mission, he was in a safe house in Afghanistan. And it was February of 2002. There wasn't much heat in the house. And the forces were marshaling the family out of the house. And John Chapman said, nope, they stay here. They stay here where there's heat. And he grabbed one of the little girls of the family and he held on to her. And he made it very clear that that family would stay in that house. That little girl was the same age as his daughter back home. And there's a picture that hangs in my office that looks over the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, where then Technical Sergeant John Chapman showed the humanity that's in our warriors. And then days later was fighting on a mountaintop in knee-high snow, fighting hand-to-hand combat, unconscious, back to the fight, fighting for an hour on that mountaintop to save his fellow soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. And he gave up his life. He represents the very best in all of us. The humanity and the values that we take into combat that would bring a little girl and their family into a heated room, and the ferociousness with which he attacked the enemy as he fought to his death. I don't know many things with absolute clarity as your chief, but this I know. The next John Chapman is standing in formation. And I have one question for you. Are you ready to join the world's greatest Air Force? Moms and dads, I think they're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Goldfein will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
and of the officers appointed over me,
and of officers appointed over me,
according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice,